chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates.
That was President Trump yucking it up in a rare visit to the Federal Reserve yesterday to renew pressure on Chairman Jerome Powell. As the pair stood side by side in matching hard hats, it was quite the sight, Trump lamented about the cost of the Fed's ongoing building renovations. Powell then, remarkably, fact-checked the president in real time.
So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about $3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So
not new.
Real-time fact-checking there from the Fed chair. Let's bring in CNBC's Dom Chu. And Dom, let's give a little backstory here. For a few weeks now, the president and some of his allies have been whipping up the cost of the renovations there at the Fed as potentially a pretense to force his ouster, even as we heard from Treasury Secretary Bessent that Trump didn't want to fire Powell. Bessent on our air a few days ago here on Morning Joe said, well, he wouldn't mind if he quit. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically the sense of it. But it appears that things are at least patched up a little because President Trump just now left the White House declaring not only that it was a, quote, really good meeting with Powell, but declared the Fed chair, who the other day and for days and days he deemed, quote, too late. Now he's saying Jerome Powell, a very good man.
Yeah, Jonathan. So, I mean, this is all happening right now. Of course, the comments coming just fresh right now this morning. But that meeting between himself and Fed Chair Jay Powell, during that meeting, he seemed to further this notion, right? Even just yesterday, that he was not going to go down that road of trying to fire the Federal Reserve Chairman, despite that long feud that they've had over how to handle interest rate policy. He wants them to lower them, right? He told reporters, quote, to do that is a big move, and I just don't think it's necessary with regard to firing him. He also said that I believe he's going to do the right thing, maybe implying that he thinks Powell will cut rates. And things then appeared to take an even calmer tone later yesterday as well when the president posted on Truth Social. It was actually a great honor to tour the Fed building renovation with Powell. Now, the Fed, by the way, did also issue its own statement amidst all of this, saying, quote, the Federal Reserve was honored to welcome the president yesterday for a visit to our historic headquarters, and then added, we are grateful for the president's encouragement to complete this important project. We remain committed to continuing to be careful stewards of these resources as we see the project through to completion. Now, while the Fed renovation is garnering some more attention from the White House and, of course, some Republican lawmakers, Wall Street is way more concerned about the path of interest rates in the coming months. Right now, financial markets linked to interest rate futures are pricing in an expectation that the Fed is going to cut rates 2 times for the balance of the year. Now, elsewhere in the market, traders, media analysts, and media watchers are keeping eyes on shares of Paramount, modestly higher in the pre-market trade, after the parent of CBS, Nickelodeon, and Showtime and Comedy Central cleared a big regulatory hurdle for its pending acquisition by Skydance Media. The FCC approved the $8 billion deal, and Chair Brendan Carr of the commission said that there would be significant changes at the CBS broadcast network, and that Skydance has agreed to not establish any diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives after the deal is done. Now, this deal is being seen by some in media circles as a real test case for how other media companies who are seeking future deals may have to operate and navigate through the current regulatory environment in this Trump administration. And we're going to end with the latest on the more fractured relationship between President Trump and billionaire Tesla CEO Elon Musk. Tesla shares have been under a lot of pressure as of late, due in part to its latest quarterly earnings report, where Musk told Wall Street analysts that the electric vehicle giant could see a, quote, few rough quarters, given the cost of tariffs, as well as the certain elimination of tax benefits for EVs, which are due to expire at the end of September. Now, President Trump did post on Truth Social that, quote, Everyone is stating that I will destroy Elon's companies by taking away some, if not all, of the large-scale subsidies he receives from the U.S. government. This is not so. I want Elon and all businesses within our country to thrive. In fact, thrive like never before. The better they do, the better the USA does, and that's good for all of us. Now, these comments appeared, at least for now, to indicate some incremental thawing of that relationship between both of them since Musk's departure leading that Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, after Musk's very public opposition to Trump's tax and spending bill that is, of course, now law. So, Jonathan, Trump is in the headlines, the president, for a variety of different reasons, and it's not just Fed Chair Jay Powell this time around.
No, certainly not. We'll see. That thaw with Elon Musk, well, may depend on whether Musk follows through with his threat to really fund a third party that could threaten Republican majorities next year. CNBC's Dom Chu. Dom, thank you so much. Have a good weekend.